Chargers versus Jacksonville Jaguars preview, plus more news around for your LA Chargers. And what are we going to expect with Trevor Penning, the new left tackle that's going to be coming in here into Sunday's game against the Jags? What's up, guys? Jake Silva here on Chargers Syndicate, giving you everything LA Chargers news and more. If it is your first time here up onto the channel, I encourage you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell button, keep you up to date on future and past videos covering everything of your LA Chargers. So the Los Angeles Chargers right now stand right now second in the AFC West, and we are about to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, everybody all knows the history behind that with the Brandon Staley screw up, 27-7 cough up after, the halftime, and then losing the playoff game. All nightmares for a lot of Charger fans. So the LA Chargers are going to be geared up to going on the road into Jacksonville, facing off against the Jaguars. Now, this is going to be an important game for the Chargers because mostly there's a statement that needs to be made and reminding for the Jacksonville Jaguars that this team is not the similar team that we were used to being as far as charging, coughing up leads, and such. So this is going to be an interesting one. It'll be an 11 a.m. game on the road in Jacksonville. My biggest takeaway of it is the Jags right now are going to be without two of their star offensive linemen, Anton Harrison, and then also one other that is questionable. Now, for the Chargers, their injury report, all questionable. Tarheeb Still, Bobby Hart, Elijah Bolden, Quinn Johnston, and Scott Madlock have all been questionable. Now, Tarheeb Still, as we said, not an entire big rush in order for him to come back, but we know with the MCL on the knee, it's going to be one you want to be precautious on. Same with Elijah Molden. But with Quinn Johnston with the shin injury, I expect him to come back and to play here in this game. Now, the Chargers know 7-3 right now as their record and sitting second into the AFC West. This is one where on the other side, you got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos, and where the Broncos offense looked a lot more like a diesel engine type of offense. The Chargers really want to steal this one away because then next week is where the Chargers are going to be starting their bye. And then after the bye, they got to face against the Las Vegas Raiders, a division rival for the second time this season. Now, the Chargers, we know, has been horrible up and on offensive line without Rashawn Slater and with Joe Alt. Now, Justin Herbert on the numbers since he's been pressured has been either in the first, second, or even up and into the fourth. He's been a top 5 quarterback in all of those segments with a horrible offensive line. Can't quite defend especially when he's trying to distribute to his weapons, letting a lot of the pass rush get by him or get through and getting to him. And that's what's been one of the biggest takeaways up and into the Chargers this season and for the remainder of the year. Now, the Chargers, though, in the last couple of weeks, the defense has been looking lights out, which has been a really good look. And the Chargers want to continue to build off of that. Now, the Chargers now are going to be starting their newest acquisition from the New Orleans Saints, Trevor Penning at left tackle. He has been taking first-team reps. One of the biggest takeaways of it is that change of scenery is always a good thing. So what will Trevor Penning look like the minute he steps out onto the floor for the Bull or the out there in the field for the Bolts? Jim Harbaugh, as we know, lightning in a bottle, loves to bring in a lot of these first-round picks that would come in, rejuvenate, especially giving up a 6th-round pick to getting Trevor Penning, but bringing in these guys to rejuvenate them. Now, who's to say Trevor Penning might actually turn out to be a hit, might actually help with Herbert to defend and give him more time in the pocket to distribute to the weapons. There's a lot of question marks up from here, but I'm in full confidence that I feel that with what they're getting and what they've got so far, that the Chargers are a team that can overcome adversity. They're already right now in the search for their 4th consecutive win. If they get this against the Jags, this is going to be huge for the Chargers. Now, of course, as you know, series record, the Chargers led 9-4 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But, of course, as you know, their last meet in 23, the Jags ended up beating the Chargers in Jacksonville. So that is one that the Chargers fans really want to erase more than anything else. So the Chargers offense, 8th overall, 10th in the rush, 7th in passing, and tied for 13th in scoring. And the Chargers defense as well, 4th overall, 13th in rushing, 5th in passing, and 8th in scoring. The defense and the offense have been complementing each other very, very well outside of the offensive line woes. Now, the Chargers, what they're looking at so far as a player to watch is the edge rusher, Odafe Elway. He's already accumulated 4 sacks in 5 games since he's been acquired from Baltimore in October. And he's really playing for the contract. And I love with what Odafe Elway's been able to do for the Chargers thus far. And if he comes in and he shows out against this Jaguars offensive line, that in itself is going to be huge. Stopping the run, getting to Trevor Lawrence, and accumulating more sacks along the way as well. So they got their help up on pass rushing. Now, will it be enough, as now they're going to be facing a banged-up offensive line that's allowed 20 sacks in the last 4 games? So that's going to be the biggest thing. The other key matchup is Oronde Gadsden against the Jacksonville's defense. Now, the Jags have allowed 39 receptions for 467 yards and 7 touchdowns to the tight ends in the last 6 games, which Gadsden right now, it ranks 7th in the NFL amongst tight ends with 466 receiving yards. Gadsden is an absolute hit. And the fact that he went in as a late rounder and really serving up his highest potential with this team is humongous. So I'm really expecting Oronde Gadsden to have another great week. And I honestly think that when it comes to the offensive game plan, the Chargers are going to be wanting to take any and everything in their hands to end up winning this game, getting paid back, and really kind of setting a reminder for the Jags fans that always seem to think that they got to the Chargers. No, this is going to be completely different up from here. Chargers are, in fact, a 2.5 spread favorite. So it will be interesting, though, on the road. And as usual, the Chargers being the most traveled team in the NFL for the second time in a row. Should be a really good game. Sunny out, 76 in Jacksonville, Florida. I really am curious to see where this game is how this game is going to look like. Hopefully that the Chargers offensive line with Trevor Penning will look a lot different. But I do expect that the Chargers are going to play a lot of physical ground and pound game, especially with Kamani Vidal, with the way that he's looked, and then go into the bye week well-rested, focused, and being ready to take the league by storm in the last few games that are on the tail end of the season, and then predict the outcomes of what the division will end up looking like, and then where they will stand as far as playoff implication hopes are as well, going into 7-3. So my prediction up and into this game, biggest takeaways is defend Herbert at all costs. Offensive line has to be able to go on the road, shut down the defensive front of Jacksonville, and not allow so much of hits and pressures to their star quarterback. Otherwise, it's just going to be a long field day. Another takeaway is get started early when it comes to pressure and pass rushes, because that's what's going to be the big thing. Make it so uncomfortable for Trevor Lawrence to barely even throw the ball and get it to a lot of his weapons. Now, of course, they got their newest wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. So that's what's going to be the big question mark as well, too, with the look of that offense. And finally, it's going to be all ground and pound game. Kamani Vidal, Jared Patterson, multiple others that the Chargers are really going to utilize a lot more up and into their run game. So I expect them to continue up in the ground and pound, continue to fight, get physical. That's my biggest takeaways up from there. My final score up and into the game, I'm really hoping that the Chargers come away with this one. It may be tough because of the fact of being on the road, and then not to mention their history against the Jacksonville Jaguars as of recently. I think the Chargers do get the job done. I feel like this could be a game that it may not look pretty up and into the start, but if they get an electrified start, I would expect that the Chargers would end up winning this game 27-21. I think that the defense, in my opinion, they're going to be playing hard. There's going to be some times where they might get a little bit mixed up, depending on how Travis Etienne and the others are going to be playing up and onto the ground game. So I think that the Chargers, it's going to be a well-fought game. 27-21. I feel the Chargers are going to come away with this one, make a big statement, and really give it against the Jacksonville Jaguars and remind them, hey, we're back. We are doing just fine. So that's my biggest takeaway up from there. Appreciate you guys for checking out this video as well. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button, guys. Make sure we're hitting up our goals right now, so help a guy out and help us get our channel up, growing, guys. Really love and appreciate the support as well, guys. Go Bolts, bolt up, and we'll see what happens here up on Sunday. Take care, guys.